Hey, how's it going, guys? Mush back at it with another video. In today's video, I want to go over some interesting comments made by Gabe Newell, head of Valve, in an interview with Edge magazine. Newell said that everybody benefits from the competition in the long run. He didn't mention Epic Game Store in particular, however, that's what a lot of people are deducing his comments to be about. I want to talk all about that, and also Steam is breaking some major records right now in terms of concurrent user base. They are breaking records seemingly every day, and I think this is just gonna grow and grow and grow, and I want to talk about what this could mean and why I think this is one of the most opportune times for Steam to run a major sale, but I'll talk that after we talk about Gabe Newell's interesting comments. So again, in an interview with Edge magazine, thanks to Games Radar for the transcript, Newell said that everybody benefits from the competition in the long run, although it can be rough getting there. He noted competition in game stores is awesome for everybody. It keeps us honest, it keeps everybody else honest, but it's ugly in the short term. You're like, they're yelling, they're making us look bad, but in the long term, everybody benefits from the discipline and the thoughtfulness it means to you. You have to have about your business by having people come in and challenge you. He also noted, quote, "We are a lot more freaked out, not by competition, but by people trying to preclude competition. If you ask us which is scarier, it's people falling in love with Apple's model of controlling everything and having faceless bureaucrats who get to keep your product from entering the market if they don't want to, or designing a store in a way that minimizes software's value add to experience and stuff like that." Now again, while Newell didn't mention the Epic Game Store in particular, all of the stuff he did mention is very, very accurate. I think competition at its purest form is very good. It elevates two competing rivals, and in a sense, it should be the best for the consumer as well. However, in the case of Steam versus the Epic Game Store, I think people do get it a little bit twisted, and there are a lot of practices that arise from competition that aren't the best for consumers. I think this idea that it's a one-size-fits-all competition means everything that happens is good for the consumer, I think that is very, very foolish. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense. In the case of Epic Games, their way to provide competition is actually to limit user options. It's to acquire games as exclusive titles on their own platform. At least that's what they were doing, and I think that's what was annoying people, because it was really EGS taking a lot of the money that they had, throwing it at developers and publishers, being like, okay, bring your game to our platform exclusive for a time period. What are they actually offering to consumers in terms of the market? They're not offering anything. They're just spending a lot of money to try to lock you into their ecosystem, try to get you on board with EGS. I like the idea of Epic Game Store entering the market, but let me offer you something different. Don't acquire exclusives. You've got so much money. Why not facilitate the creation of development studios that'll develop new games for you from the ground up? That way, you can make those games EGS exclusive. I have no problem with that if you're facilitating the creation of those games, but if you're already having these games that have been announced, they were announced for Steam, and then you just come in and throw a lot of money at these developers and publishers, and instances like Shenmue 3, where it was really bad, where that game was kickstarted initially promising Steam copies, and then games like Metro Exodus, that was really bad as well, because the game was on Steam leading up to its release. It essentially used Steam as a promotional platform, and then they pulled it last minute. Stuff like that I really can't get behind at all. But Epic, you've got all this money, why not make EGS a better platform, and then why not take your money and create a bunch of different game studios that can create compelling experiences? Maybe that's what they ultimately want to do. I get the idea of, okay, a game like Borderlands 3, that has a lot of name value. Metro Exodus, that has a lot of name value, but why not take that money, create these studios that you can have power over and you can own, and they can create games for you for a long time to come, and those are games that you're going to own forever, and you can put them on Epic Game Store, make Epic Game Store as a platform better. That is how competition benefits the consumer. Epic Game Store's model right now, or the model that they were going with throwing money to developers and publishers to make games exclusive to their platform for a time period, that is not a sustainable model. They are not generating a lot of revenue. At least I don't have any specific numbers, but we were hearing numbers about how much they were spending for games like Control, games like Metro Exodus, games like Borderlands 3. In the case of Borderlands 3, it was a 6-month timed exclusivity. You can't possibly be making that money back on the back end. It's just that EGS and Epic Games has so much money right now that for them, losing a little bit of money to facilitate the growth of Epic Games games, that makes sense to them, but I don't think that's the most strategic way to spend your money. You can make exclusive games. There's no problem with Sony being like, okay, we facilitated the creation of this studio, or we've acquired this studio, they're our studio now, and they're gonna make exclusive games for their platform. If they want to do that, by all means do that. A Gabe Newell with Valve, Half-Life Alyx is gonna be a game on Steam. I have no problem with that, and ultimately it's up to them whether or not they release the game onto other platforms, but they facilitated the creation of that game, so I can't have any complaints about that. When you're going after third parties and games that would traditionally be on Steam, that's where I have a problem. That's where the consumer is really losing out. And that's why it's bad, and that's why a lot of the things that EGS has done aren't necessarily good for the consumers. There are elements of EGS, I don't want to completely throw them under the bus and say they've been bad for consumers. It has made Valve kind of step up their game. I remember last year, and this is something I'll harken back to, but during that Lunar New Year sale, they were doing that promotion where they were offering $5 off on purchases of $30 or more. That's something we typically wouldn't have seen from Valve, but they did that, and I think that was in response to EGS. I think a lot of the improvements that Valve have made, I think they were going to be done regardless, but definitely they were incentivized with EGS coming to the forefront as another primary competitor. At this point, it seems like EGS has kind of foregone on the idea of acquiring a lot of exclusives. I think they've come to the realization that's not ultimately how they're going to grow their platform. And again, as far as benefits to the consumer, look at all the free games you're getting. That's in direct response to competition. That's because they want you to get them to use your platform, and that's a complete benefit to PC gamers, and that is something that has been advantageous for PC gamers because of the introduction of Epic Games as a rival. But again, I just offer you the fact that it's not a one-size-fits-all. You can't say just because of competition, everything is better for the consumer, because I think timed exclusivity, that is something that's always going to be a negative for consumers. It's not even exclusive to Epic. Look, Sony is guilty of this as well. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. Look at some of the other acquisitions that are made. Rise of the Tomb Raider. They're not acquiring these studios. They're not making the creation of these games possible. Rather, they're just throwing a bunch of money at these studios and publishers to make a game timed exclusive, so it incentivizes you to lock yourself into that platform. That's obviously the idea, that's obviously the goal, and that's something that I'm never going to be about. I'm okay with exclusives if it's from a first party and you are, again, facilitating the creation of that exclusive, but once it's just a game that was going to happen regardless and you're just throwing money for a timed exclusivity period, who is that really benefiting? Absolutely no one outside of fanboy wars that are like, oh, our game is timed exclusive, I'm going to be able to play Final Fantasy VII on my PS4 for a year. I mean, yeah, if that helps you sleep at night, more power to you, but I just don't think that ultimately offers anything. Alright, so enough about that. I think Gabe Newell was right on a lot of accounts. I just think, again, this idea that competition is just automatically good for everyone, I don't necessarily agree with that. I do want to mention that Steam is breaking some crazy records right now with everybody being stuck inside, at least a lot of people being stuck inside, I should say. They just broke north of 22,300,000 people online at the same time, nearly 22,380,000, and I want to say that they've been breaking these records pretty much daily or every other day with everything that's going on. I think this is a great time to run a major sale on Steam. I don't know if we can get every publisher and developer together, but I think this is time where a lot of people are at home, a lot of people want some great games to play, but nobody wants to spend full price, especially because financially, this is going to be a hard time for a lot of people with everything going on, and nobody wants to be dropping, $59.99 on a new game. Nobody wants to even be dropping $39.99, $29.99, whatever the case may be. But if we can get some really cheap games, if we can get a lot of these publishers and developers coming together to run a big sale on Steam, I just think it makes so much sense right now. Again, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know how difficult it is to start a sale for Steam. I know whenever a summer sale or a winter sale starts, they got to send out emails. They got to figure out all the pricing and things like that. But if they can, go on overdrive for a couple of days and figure it out and put a mass Steam sale, I just think right now more so than ever, it would be one of the most successful Steam sales of all time, and I do think everybody needs something to get their mind off of everything that's going on right now. A Steam sale offering games at great prices, maybe some more freebies for people. I think a lot of developers and publishers know everything that's going on, and they want to offer gamers a little bit of an escape. They want to offer everybody a little bit of an escape. Well, so why not offer that escape via something where we can get games a little bit cheaper? The developers can make some money, especially if developing games and whatever whatever they're doing right now, promoting games is a little bit difficult with all of these event cancellations. Well, you can generate some revenue right now by doing something like that. I just think it makes all the sense in the world. But nonetheless, that's just something I've been thinking of, and I don't know necessarily how difficult it would be for Steam to start something like that, but it is something I would like to mention. And hey, if somebody at Valve, somebody at Steam watches this video, there you go. You probably have already thought about it, but I would definitely double down and try to make that happen. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, let me know what you guys think about Gabe Newell saying everybody benefits from competition. I think competition more often than not is a good thing. However, again, I just don't think this idea that competition is automatically beneficial to everyone involved. Every element of competition is good. I always don't think that's true. You've got elements like timed exclusivity, which I've always thought is whack, and that is kind of an element that has been born from competition. And again, Steam is breaking some records right now, and with those records being broken, I think it's a great time to kick off some Steam sales. I think it would be fantastic for people to get some games right now to get their mind off of everything that's going on in the world. But that's going to conclude this video. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.